So today, ma'am, I am Arnel Peligrino and I am here to report the chapter 14, which title in the insurance law. So insurance is very useful to companies engaged in the tourism industry because there are many kinds of risk in enterprises where investment oftentimes is quite substantial. By way of example, an employer may subscribe to a group insurance of his employee as a part of each employee benefit program. Companies utilizing building structures for the operations for their hotels, restaurants, and other tourism-related establishments may think of investing in property insurance against fire or earthquake to protect their investments. Lastly, an investment in marine insurance is the usual practice among companies engaged in the transportations of cargoes at sea may also be worth looking at. Insurance contracts are governed by the insurance law, Presidential Decree 612, which institute the insurance code, now referred to Presidential Decree 1460 in the case of the latter's deficiency. The provisions of the Civil Code of the Philippines govern. So, the learning objectives in this chapter is to enumerate items that can be insured by a tourism establishment, identify the advantages and disadvantages of having insurance, identify the rationale behind the concept of insurance, and lastly, explain the different kinds of insurance. So, Section 2. A contract of insurance is an agreement whereby one undertakes for considerations to indemnify another against loss, damages, or liability arising from a known or contingent event. So, the essential elements of insurance contracts are insurable interest, existence of risk, assumptions of such risk by insurer, said assumptions being part of a general scheme to distribute actual losses among those bearing similar risk, and lastly is payment of premium. The characteristic of an insurance contracts are aleatory. There is an element of risk. An aleatory contract is one where the obligations depends upon the occurrence of an uncertain event, as in the case of fire insurance, or one certain to happen but at an indeterminate time, death in life or insurance. Contract of indemnity. There is an exchange of value for value, particularly in property insurance. Onerous. There is a valuable considerations given payment or of premium. Bilateral. Both parties are bound to do something. Formal. As to form a policy is required to be issued and the premium must be paid. The parties in insurance contracts are insurer, a person, partnership, association, or corporation duly authorized to transact an insurance business. Insured, a person with an insurable interest who stands to benefit from a policy of insurance. In its strict sense, the insured party is the owner or purchaser of the policy event of benefits of the insurance may occur to someone else. Beneficiary, a person designated by the terms of the policy to receive the proceeds of the insurance policy upon the happening of the event insured against. It is the person's name in an insurance policy as the one to receive proceed or benefit occurring thereunder. Insurance contract may refer to the following: life insurance, an insurance on human lives, an insurance pertaining thereto or connected therewith. Fire insurance, which includes loss by fire, lightning, windstorm, tornado, or earthquake, and other allied risks, when such risks are covered by extensions of fire insurance policies or under separate policies. Marine insurance, a contract whereby one for considerations agrees to indemnify another for the loss or damages on a certain interest subject to marine rest by certain perils of the sea, specified casualties during voyage or fixed period, personal accident insurance, and insurance which provides pecuniary compensations of expenses or losses of income brought about by death or bodily injury arising from violent or external, visible, and accidental means. An insurance contract is considered a contract of adhesions in which almost all the provisions have been drafted only by one party, usually the insurance company. The only participations of the other party is the signing of his signature of his adhesions. In this regard, such contracts are to be construed liberally in favor of the insurance and strictly against the insurer, in resolving all ambiguities against the latter. Insurable interest. An insurable interest is that relationship with a person or nothing that will support the issuance of an insurance policy. A person is usually regarded as having an insurable interest in the subject matter insured, with he will derive pecuniary benefit or advantages from its preservations, or will suffer pecuniary loss or damages from its destructions. Insurable interest in a property shall exist not only on the date of executions of the contract of insurance, but on the date of the occurrence of the rest insured against. On the other hand, insurable interest in the life and health of a person insured must exist when the insurance takes effect, but need not exist thereafter or when the loss occurs. So, insurable interest in a group insurance. The primary aim of group insurance to provide the employer with a means of procuring insurance protections for his employees and their families at the lowest possible cost, and in so doing, the employer creates goodwill with his employees, enables the employees to carry a larger amount of insurance, and helps to attract and hold a permanent class of employees. A group insurance is essentially a single insurance contract that provides coverage for many individuals and provides life or health insurance coverage for the employees of the employer. In order to validly claim benefits from the group insurance, employee must be actively at work and must have complied a specific period of continuous employment. Otherwise, the insurable interest cases generally group. So, insurable interest in property. In property insurance, it is important that insurable interest must exist when the insurance takes effects and when the loss occurs. In marine insurance, the owner of a ship has in all cases an insurable interest in it, even when it has been chartered by one who consents to pay him its value in case of loss, provided that in this case that insurer shall be liable for only the part of the loss which the insured cannot recover from the charter. Beneficiary. Section 18. No contract or policies of insurance on property shall be enforceable except for the benefit of some persons having an insurable interest in the property insured. Section 19. An interest in property insured must exist when the insurance takes effects and when the loss occurs, but need not exist in the meantime. And interest in the life or health of a person's insured must exist when the insurance takes effects, but need not exist thereafter or when the loss occurs. So a person cannot lawfully procure insurance on the life of another in whose life he has no insurable interest. Hence, the assured must have an interest to preserve the life to be insured in the spirit of insurance. In order that one may have an insurable interest in the life of other, it must be one of those mentioned in Section 10 of the Insurance Code 21. This holds true where the employer, who is the titular or named insured, obtains insurance on the life and health of its employees. Fire insurance. Section 167. As used in the code, the term fire insurance shall include insurance against loss by fire, lightning, windstorm, tornado, or earthquake, and other allied risks. When such risks are covered by extensions of fire insurance policies or under separate policies. Fire insurance is essentially a contract of indemnity. In fire insurance, only a hostile and not a friendly fire is insured against. Under an open policy, the measures of indemnity is the actual loss sustained, and burden is upon the insured to establish the amount of such loss. Under a valued policies of fire insurance, the valuations in the policy is conclusive between the parties. So, war risk insurance. War risk insurance is an insurance covering damages caused by act of war. It includes coverage for war, hijacking, and related perils. Insurers have intended to withdraw liability coverage for weapons of mass destructions. A subset of war risk insurance includes radioactive contaminations, dirty bombs, electromagnetic pulse devices, chemical or biological weapons. Discussions of the law. Some countries, like the United States of America, provided coverage while others do not. The International Air Transport Association's ITA has argued that airlines in countries that do not provide coverage are at competitive disadvantages. Under the Federal Aviation Administration's program, insurance coverage for passengers and third-party liabilities for U.S. airlines is approximately 70 passengers compared to almost outside of the U.S. And that's all. Thank you.